Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video of our podcast. And I am back again here with the boys. And it looks like we have received quite a good response in our previous podcast, right, guys? I see the view counts increasing, and it looks like all of the people enjoy the our short form, not exactly short, but our 1 hour limit podcast. So we are trying to keep up with it. So we are trying to limit the introductions that we tell in the beginning of our every podcast, and rather focus on the main content. So, just to brief it up, what we'll be doing is we'll just be introducing our previous week. We'll be recapping all our week just in like few minutes, and then we'll get to the main content. All right. So, how has your week been, guys? Let's get started.
All right, so I'll start with it. So for me, it's nothing special. I think the boring days are back, and the reason if you guys haven't noticed, we used to post our podcast on Tuesdays, but this video will be published on Mondays. So you might have guessed what went wrong or like why is the change in schedule. So the reason is obvious. I've got my college on Tuesday starting at 7 a.m., so I cannot make it on Tuesday, and we've migrated the date from Tuesday to Monday. And yeah, I have classes starting from 11:30, so I'll be able to make it. The boys are free as well during this time, so we'll be publishing our pod saying on Mondays now. And
Hmm.
yeah, so the boring days, the college and stuffs and work and everything, nothing really special. Yeah, that's it from my side actually, nothing more. What about you,
Yeah, it
Himal?
looks like fun. Himal is enjoying his feast,
All right,
and we
guys.
can
No,
see
I am not
the sun right
enjoying.
there.
It sucks. Being old sucks, mate. Come on, my back is hurting.
Says the youngest
Oh
one in the
fuck.
group.
Yeah.
So my last week was crazy. I would like to say one specific night that it was I guess Saturday night and it was so much fun. The city was full of people, and then it was so good. As you guys know, Christmas is so near, and then Christmas, all people are here to celebrate Christmas. So what I did was I returned from work at 11, and then I changed my room setup out of nowhere, and then I got my friend, and then we were let's go to the city doing cycling and stuff. We were just basically going for the free foods. One of my friend works at the kebab shop, and then he was like, yeah, you can visit me, I will give you kebab. And then I was like, I can't go up there. It's too far. I won't go there for a single food. And then I didn't basically go when he invited me. And then I was so hungry, and there was no food in the room for me to eat. And I was I just called him, and then can I come in your store with my friend? And then he was like, he know my other friend too. And then he was like, okay, okay. And then I just traveled from here using cycle half an hour for the food, and then I got a food, and then it was already two a.m. in the morning. So city was still full of people, and then enjoying cycling. The fun part of the cycling was we actually end up entering the freeway, and then if we were caught, we could have get fine worth $1,000, I guess. And then it was so risky because freeway means all the vehicles are in more than 100 kilometers per hour, and then if little dash, then so basically it was I was panicking, and then so yeah, interacting with Aussie girls and Aussie boys, the drunk boys, girls. So basically it was fun night, exploring. That's what I mean. You can say explore because there was no one to stop me from interacting to random people. I was doing cycling, and then pretty girls were near the roadside, and they were like, "Give me a high five!" And then I was cycling, and come on, baby girl, and then it was just boom, and then so after a while that we traveled, and then I was convincing my friend to just get return, and then so we can have a sleep, and he was like asshole, so he didn't want to return at the meantime. And then the problem was like his cycle tube got like tube air was gone in a while. So
Punctured.
basically, he yeah punctured, and then like the fuck happened. Like I was too far. Like I think he's like following me, and then like out of nowhere he started calling me, and he was like, "Fuck, my cycle is gone. You should come back to get me." And then like I should wrap this thing because I will be talking too much. So after that, like one of my friend was the friend who gave us kebab. He was doing Uber in city, and then like I asked him. My phone was dead, guys. It was like life-saving moment when I give that friend's number to my other friend when I have got 2% battery charges. Otherwise, like we would get a trouble. And then like I asked him, I convinced him, and then like he came. He had a car, and then we just put the cycle in the car, and then just get back home using a car.
Nice.
Honestly, that was life-saving moment.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a
let's
Yep,
nice
continue.
sounds
thing.
like
Yeah.
a yep, sounds like a pretty fun experience.
Hmm.
As for me,
Yeah,
since it's Thanksgiving week, uh, for us international students, my university I organized a Thanksgiving party yesterday, and guess what? I won a what do you call it? There was a drawing with all our names in it, and I won this the what do you even call it? A normal container,
sprinkles.
but there were some cookies in it. So I ate all the cookies, but I really love this container and I am really in need of some containers right here. Lack of containers to store things. But uh, the next thing is like since I am at the end of my semester, so I have my 1 month long break after, I guess, around 2 weeks. And that is why I have already booked my ticket for Texas, Dallas. And I'll be going to my uncle's home this winter break. And I'll be going. I'll be going in December 13th, I think so. So I hope Texas has a lot to offer, and let's see
A
where it
lot of
takes us.
gunshots, man. A lot of gunshots.
Yeah,
Yeah, whatever. Continue.
yeah. And the main highlight of my week, guess what? We had a book sale at my library this week. I think it was this Wednesday. I mean, the last Wednesday. And I got a few books, and by a few, I mean a whole lot of books, guys. And I got like these 5 books just for around $8. So I'm really hyped up to read all of these. I didn't actually get the ones that I actually wanted to read, but I did get some interesting ones like this Body Language 101, the ultimate guide to knowing when people are lying, how they behave, and what they are feeling. So this might be a fun read. And a few others are some normal storybooks, some mystery, thriller, horror kind of books. And one of the book is The Complete History of the Universe. So those are quite diverse picks, but I really want to see what these books have to offer. And like, since we're in the context of books, right? What I was actually thinking is, see, we have seen a lot of rich, successful people talking about how they used to read books every day and how like books are like one crucial factor for their success too, right? Like normally, like when you look at Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and Jeff Bezos, right? They all used to read books at some point in their life, and even to this day, they do. So what do you guys really think about like how books can actually influence you, change your life, and like have you ever actually read a book completely? Like not a book, probably you have read at least one,
That
right?
that
But
that'd be a great question for Himal.
yeah, yeah. But like personally speaking, even I'm not that much into books, right? Like at most I've read around 2 books completely that
Only
were really useful for me.
So
I have read other storybooks, but I don't think like storybooks are really a part of being influential, right? But the 2 influential books that I've read, they were pretty good. So what do you guys think about like books changing people's lives? And what are the books that you've read, man?
Yeah, so I think I'll get into it first because I don't think Imal has really read a book. Or have you, mate?
Oh, fuck off, mate. Fuck off. Let's compete. Let's compete.
All right,
Come on.
so depending
This
on
is book
Chris'
and like,
answer,
yeah.
yeah, depending on Chris' answer, I think I have read the most books here because I used
Yeah.
to read it a lot, man. There was a time when I was a bookie, like when I was in class 8 or something like that. I used to read audiobooks, I used to read books, I used to even take notes. I think I've got notes of for some books in my Evernote or something like that. That is something that I wrote back when I was in class 8. So yeah, I've read a lot of books actually. Not really a lot, but like more than five, I guess. And yeah, so the books that I showed you guys right now, these books, these are something that I haven't really read, to be honest. This is the book Bismillah left here, actually. And I haven't even opened this up, and it looks really fancy. Look at all these colors and pictures. And yeah, I'll definitely get into this one as well. So Bismillah, if you're watching, I'll be reading this book. I'm most probably sure you're not watching this, but but yeah. Yeah, so yeah, speaking about like what books I've read like variety of genres. Not variety, but like mostly I used to read self-improvement books like The Power of Now, is mostly about being in the present, not worrying, not being anxious about the future, not being depressed about the past and stuff like that. I've read The Alchemist is one of my favorite book. Like I've read it two times actually.
Yeah.
And I really love it. Yeah, for the first timers, I think The Alchemist is one of the best books to read because the story is so good. Like it takes you through the journey of that shepherd. I won't spoil it more than this, but yeah, the Alchemist, The Power of Now, and Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read it in Nepali and English, both languages actually. And I've read, The Power of Subconscious Mind as well. I don't remember the content, but like, yeah, I did go for like Think and Grow Rich as well. I didn't get in depth, like I didn't fully read it, but I read a bit, a portion of it, and I read recently, actually, yeah. So the like a couple of months ago, I was really, like, okay, I'm not doing really anything, so I think I should just get myself a book and read it. So, but this time it was different.
Mhm.
I didn't want to read a self-improvement book. I didn't want to, force myself to. Oh, Atomic Habit as well. I forgot to mention, yeah, because I didn't want myself to, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do that. No, I don't want that. I just want to relax. I want to chill by reading a book. I want to take it as sort of a break, not as something that I'm forced to do. And that's what that's what I thought of while getting the book Don Quixote and To Kill a Mockingbird. These are the two books that I got myself recently, and yeah, I read the first part of Don Quixote. It's got two books, but like both though the two books were different, but they're merged into one book now. So I have that one huge book, and I've read the first part of the book. And as I expected, yeah, it was a fun read, and it was more refreshing. Also, I used to laugh a lot when reading that. It's more of like watching the funny parts of One Piece, the funny compilation of One Piece or something like that, because it was
Yeah.
so stupid that it was really funny. And yeah, I think, yeah, so this is also something we can talk about later on, maybe reading self-improvements or like fiction or maybe something else so
Yeah.
that you can get knowledge out of.
Uh-huh.
This can also definitely be a topic for like, for later today in this pod. But yeah, I think that's pretty much for the books that I've read. I do have a variety of, the genre experience. Yamal, who hasn't really read a book, I think, is a bit annoyed by this. Yeah, but yeah, this
Yeah.
this is a really interesting topic, Chris. Yeah, as a host, I appreciate you for bringing this up, and yeah, we can definitely move into it. I think I've spoken a bit more in this topic because I'm so passionate about it.
No problem.
So, all right, Chris. Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Himal.
I can see your yeah, I can see your
What the
passion for
fuck
it,
was like?
man.
I'm not. What the fuck was like? I won't like feel that thing. I think probably like I'm the second person in the group who have read a lot of books. So
The
I
host
read
who
a
brought
lot
the
of books,
topic.
man. We can.
Yeah,
we can compete with each other, buddy. Like I have not read any fictional books because I have got no interest. And then
makes
like
sense,
about the
makes
self
sense.
improvement and then like helping books, I have read a lot because it's been a while. And then I never like I never spoke to the people about like, yeah, I'm reading Atomic Habit, I'm reading Don Quixote, and then like the first parts is this and that. I never go and like show off, you know. So like
If there were
keep
a
it keep
story,
it.
you'd go for it. But there is no story in Atomic Habits, so you don't really talk about it because Don Quixote is an
Come
adventure
on,
man.
I
As
have
a
read a lot of books.
Yeah, as an
I have
adventure lover, as a One Piece fan, I think you'll definitely love Don Quixote, to be honest.
okay. So what was the cost of Don Quixote in Nepal? How much did
I
you
think
pay for it?
I bought 2 kilo Mockingbird and Don Quixote for like maybe 1,500 rupees NPR. So it was pretty, maybe
You
say,
bought it really?
I bought it, man. I was in Tamil,
I
meeting
thought
some.
it was gift from somebody.
No,
Somebody.
I was meeting
Somebody,
somebody, and then
somebody.
I was really like, I need to go and find a bookstore and get some books. And I literally found the bookstore right out of the place that I was meeting somebody. And then I went to
Meaning
the shop,
somebody. Yeah.
and then I basically asked for the books. Just give me this and this and this and books, And I brought two of them, and yeah, that was it.
So I
Uh,
think I was talking at the moment for a
yeah.
while. So I'm not done yet because yeah, I've read a lot of books. So for right now, I have got to do bucket list of book stuff. So like I wanna go with like the Power of Subconscious Mind. Like I have read it, but like I haven't completed it. So like I left it back home, so I can't read it. So I have to get one for me. But like I have got two or three books, so like to complete, so that I can continue on other books. So the last book I read was finished that I finished reading was Rich Dad and Poor Dad, and I would definitely recommend Chris reading that book because he really need financial knowledges. Because Chris is like he runs like
As
bad. He's like actually running in a like what should I say, Ananda, from the book scenario, like income asset and then like income and expenses asset.
Liability,
He's more into expenses,
he's
yeah, liabilities and
getting
yeah,
that income, and there is no asset. There's just liability, and he's
yeah.
spending all that. There is
He's
no
like, and
asset.
there is a graph in a book. It's like going up and directly leaving the graph. It should be like going up and down and then leaving the graph.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, actually, for
it is a really
yeah, if I can interrupt for a moment, sorry, Mal. But
yeah
like
yeah continue continue. But
if you reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, what I suggest is that even if you read just the 50% of the book, that's enough actually. In the later part of the book, things get repeated. Like he's basically talking about the same stuff, like in a
yeah,
different
that's what
way.
I feel.
It
Yeah,
gets
it's
boring
like
later on. Like just read 50% of the book and you're done. That's it. So yeah, you can keep
it's
that
like
in
he
mind.
will repeat the same things like invest on the like this
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
what
yeah,
I did was this and
yeah,
this. What the fuck? But it is a great book for a
yeah.
newbie to get some knowledge.
Yep.
And then like what I found interesting and like really helping was the subtle art of not giving a fuck. This really great book. It's like but like Chris, you should not read that book. You're already implementing that thing, so I would recommend this book to the Chris Ananda because he get really
Yeah.
annoyed by other people's stuff. Like even though when his mom was like doing like some compliments on me, he was like
oh,
so so he should really get this subtle art of not giving a fuck.
But you're talking about
So
me?
for Chris, yeah, bro, you. So who
Really?
the person who gives himself a new T-shirt for the podcast for the sake of podcast. We're using some old random
Bro,
sando.
groom up,
So
man. Come on, groom up.
no,
You're going out there and
fuck off, fuck off.
okay,
What do you
okay.
mean by groom
No, no,
off?
guys.
The
No, all right. Let it be. Let it
let
be.
it be,
But
okay, so
yeah.
no, as you guys said,
What the?
Atomic Habits and Rich Dad Poor Dad, because those were some really famous books out there, right? And a lot of my friends actually read it, but I never I never got the chance to read it, or more like I never wanted to buy it because for some reason books are so expensive. I don't know if
In
that's
Nepal,
the
they are
like.
so cheap, buddy.
I don't think like six, 700 is cheap for a book, man. I mean, the knowledge could be expensive, right? But what I would prefer is either getting a second-hand book or borrowing from the library, which is not always a feasible option back in Nepal. But I was not really a fan of being influenced by books because the main reason is I used to forget about everything after just a single week. Like it never used to stick to me for some reason. And obviously, today's generation, I can't seem to focus for more than like 10 or 15 minutes, right? Oh, yeah, yeah, you could speak, Imal.
So it's like why the reason you didn't get like inspired from book is like you hadn't read one, right? So first of all, just
No, I
get
mean,
yourself a book
I
and then
did
like
say that.
just
Yes,
some.
yeah. Like I did say that I read Ikigai, right? Because I had always been talking about the law of attraction and all. It's a part of Ikigai, and I read Ikigai. I also have read not actually self-improvement books, but I've read pretty good story books that I could take out some morals out of. Like I've read this romance book. I think you all have heard of it. The It Ends With Us, the famous It Ends With Us.
Oh yeah,
You know, right? Yeah.
Cool and
Yeah.
Hoover.
It was written by Colin Hoover. She's a great writer, and there's a lot to learn from even please well with others. Yeah. There's a lot to learn from even like romance books because there's always something that you could get out of it. But I was not really the type to concentrate on a single thing for long enough, and but I always wanted to implement spend 10 minutes before sleeping to study or like to read books, right? I always wanted to implement that. Like it could help you sleep better, and then instead of using your devices, gadgets just before going to bed, you could read some books instead, right? So I really thought that was a good option, but I never actually went and did the things, you know? But one main reason for it, I feel like people like you guys know how there are different types of learning styles, right? You know the VARC system, like some are visual learners, some are auditory learners, some prefer reading, writing, some prefer kinesthetic, right? And
Yeah.
uh, I feel like a lot of people, a lot of fellow students, right? My friends, they could learn, they could grasp things better when they actually felt it or they actually read it, right? Though like the reading and writing part and the kinesthetic part were the most chosen for learning styles, but for me it was mainly the visual aspect and with the auditory aspect because I always used to love YouTube videos for some reason, even though like books might have more information and and the different kinesthetic ways to learn could also be a better way. But I always preferred watching videos, listening to others speak, kind of in that sense, I feel like that could be one big reason I didn't actually dive into reading books because I always wanted some kind of audio visual experience, right? But do you guys believe that do you guys actually believe if like books are a better source of information compared to other sources of medium? Like are books actually a better source of medium compared to like YouTube videos or some practical demonstrations? Like what are opinions about it? Because me personally, like I have heard a lot from people who read books that yes, books they are really informative. They have a lot to give that you can never experience from an audiovisual experience, right? But I actually wanted to know what your opinions are because I personally haven't read a lot of books, so I can't really speak about it.
Yeah, so before we get into that, I wanted to say that I know somebody who's reading Ikigai as well. And is it worth it? Before we move on to the topic, Ikigai. Chris, this is a
Is
question
it
for
is
you.
it worth it?
Yeah, Ikigai, the book you talked about.
Yeah, Ikigai is. one of those books that actually stuck with me because that is the only book that I actually completed without feeling bored and annoyed, right? And that is the one book where I can still relate to things. I still remember the analogies about the like search engine analogy. I still remember the whole law of attraction parts. And the examples were really good and it really connected with me to the point that I still remember them after even like 1.5 years.
Nice. Yeah, so yeah, that's the question that I wanted to ask. But like moving on to your question, yeah, so I do have a lot of opinion on this one, and I can speak on this. So yeah, actually, see, the once I started, ba being honest, back in the days, I used to read books for the sake of reading books. That's it. Why are you reading books? Because I need to read a book. That's it.
Fuck.
There was no more ulterior motives. There was no superior motives, I would say. Like I did read self-improvement book for improving myself, but I found myself in self-improvement hell. So it was like you're just reading book because you think that reading book in itself is a good thing, but like you try to implement the things and you get stuck into a loop, but you're not really doing anything. So
It's
you're
like reading Make Your Bed while sitting in a bed, right? While sleeping.
exactly. While sitting in your bed, laying down, and everything is just messed up, and you're reading "Make Your Bed." That's the irony, right? So, yeah, you
Yeah.
think that reading the book is a good thing, like you're reading self-improvement book, but you're not really improving, and but you get a false sense of improvement because you just read that book. So it's
Yeah.
that's the exact reason actually I stopped reading self-improvement books. But like so recently, as I said, reading Don Quixote, I changed my approach of reading the books. I wanted to read it for the sake of entertainment, and what I found was that you get a completely different vibe from reading the books. See, like the audio and visual part, yeah, that's completely understandable, and yeah, people do have different way of learning, but like the experience that you get from reading instead of like watching is a completely different thing. So let me give you an example. So you and I both read the same book. The character is the same, the side characters are the same, the storyline is the same, right? But when you're reading, you don't really have any images, so you create that image in your head. So let's say like the Don Quixote in your head might be completely different from the Don Quixote in my head, because like the perception
Yeah.
that you create out of those texts is completely different, right? So that's something
Hmm.
that I found really fascinating, because like all the people in the world are reading the exact same thing, but they have different perception in their mind. They have different way of looking at it. Because if you're watching a movie, the character is the same, right? For every person. Everything is the same. There
Yeah.
is there is no creativity out there, right? Because you're just watching it and that's it. Everything is already presented at you. But when you're reading a book, you are presented with like the room for creativity, the room for, where you can make scenarios in your own head, where you can like make the story play out in your head, right? So that's something that I really found fascinating with regards to like reading books versus like audio and, visual representation. Yeah, Imal, please.
Chris, like, is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
my
Are you
problem?
pointing out that Ananda's video is like laggy?
Yeah, my video
He's
is
like
a bit laggy, yeah. But like I'm not stuck,
like
don't
Yeah.
this
worry.
in my
Video is
screen.
getting recorded from my side, so don't worry. Everything is fine.
Yeah, since
What was
he's the one
that?
recording, I don't think it's
What
actually a
was
problem,
that,
but
brother? What was that?
Yeah.
I was like panicking out, like, and then I was just staring at Chris whether he moves in a good manner or not. And
no,
then
no,
I was like, yeah,
this was
that's the.
actually a thing that I asked you before the podcast, but you were busy talking to your friend. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
it's
actually
true.
thought it was
Yeah,
my
I was
internet, but
talking to
looks
my
like
best
Ananda's
too,
video is lagging.
because
Yeah.
I was talking about my workplace, so that way, like, I
Let's not get
can't
off
ignore
topic,
the
mate.
thing.
Let's not get off topic.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
But
on,
please.
first of all, be stable, then we can continue.
No, no,
Or like
you
we
guys are
can leave,
completely
we
fine.
will continue.
No, you guys are completely fine. You don't have to worry about my video.
You're still like your video still sucks.
no,
No,
the
it's
thing is,
okay.
your audio is also like lagging, so it's hard for
You're
us to
like this.
understand.
Let's continue, boys. It's like
Is
this. Fuck off.
is it good now? Hello.
No, you're like
Yeah.
you just. see, I'm doing mimicry. So it's like, how are you
Oh wait,
doing, boys?
he's back again.
How are you doing,
No, no,
boys?
no,
It's
he's
like
back again.
your audio is different, your movement is different. It's like,
It's okay, man.
how
As long
how
as
are you
you're
doing,
listening
boys?
to me, it's fine
Ah,
How,
because I'm recording, so it's not
yeah,
problem,
now
man.
you're good. Now you're good.
Yeah. All right. Then,
Yeah.
Himal, please.
what's that? What's that?
This is the sunlight,
Oh,
man.
oh, I think there is something to share. I guess. I think you can basically take these things back home, back in Nepal, when you're living
And
with your
also, like,
family.
have you guys like
All
ever
right.
taken the VARC test that I talked about, right? Like, have you guys ever actually taken it?
This is the first time I'm actually hearing about that test.
Oh, really? Because I actually like gave the VARC test for like 3 years in a row back in high school, and even in this university, I have to
What's
give
that?
one VARC test. So I thought it was really famous. Like just identifying your learning style kind of thing. And every time I did the VARC test, I found out that I was always reading, writing, and a visual. Like I had the 50-50 with the reading, writing, and visual part. So I
Yeah,
really looks
but
like I really prefer those kinds of learning ways. But like since you guys like everyone has different learning styles, right? So I thought you guys actually tried the test.
Nope, it's the first time for me actually. And yeah, I think
Hmm.
for me, it's pretty much clear. I'm really, honestly speaking, I'm bored by videos, man. Like, if I can read the
Yeah.
same thing in 2 minutes, why would I watch like 20 minutes video on that? Because
yeah, I will,
I
I
can I
will,
can
I
read
will
it.
go with
I
him.
can I can read at my own pace, right? So let's say there is a
Yeah.
video of of a guy explaining things for 10 minutes, but like if I read the same thing, like exact same words that he's saying in a text or maybe like a blog or something, then I would be able to read that in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. I can basically summarize everything that he's saying, but I can't do that for video. So I think in terms of efficiency and stuff like that, if you find text comfortable, I think that's the best way of learning and like efficient learning. I would say like by not consuming too much time. And what
Yeah.
what do you say, Himal, on that?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I was trying to interrupt at the moment, because so Chris, basically, you're not like you didn't have a habit of reading book, right? So for me,
Yeah.
I will like go from the beginning. Like at first, like everyone was like reading book and self improvement and like doing crazy stuff, like stand out of the crowd and crazy stuff like this. And then like I was just reading for the sake of reading, as everyone do. So like, yeah, just yeah, I ate food, so just let's go and read Atomic Habit, because yeah, this is cool. I can see it like I am reading Atomic Habit, you know.
Yeah, I
So
think
and then
that
like I tried this for the several times, and then like I read it for almost half of the book like this, and then like what I get was nothing, and then like I again like turn the cycle on, then and I did this thing for the three times. So basically, I read a book up to the 50% margin three times without nothing, and then like it was like because I was reading for the sake of reading. I was not doing it for myself. I was not I was not like seeking for the knowledge in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once I get serious, because life was really really trouble back then. So I should say really trouble, because I'm living a good life right now, I think. So and then I started reading for myself. Like I started doing things for myself. Because someone is busy with their phone, I think we should
no,
kick
I
the
actually got a
video
call. So
editor.
no, I actually got a call. Yeah, you
Okay.
can. I'm listening.
And then like I just started reading for myself, and then the first book I read was Atomic Habit. And then like I got a lot of things like compound things and stuff like this. So after that, once I get habit of reading, so what another mentioned was pretty much simple, quick, and basic. So if you can just go through text without getting bored and you can get knowledge out of it, videos are boring, honestly. Because like text are time savers, lifesaver. Because like time is money, and time is so precious. Like we're always struggling to manage times and all. So, like for example, Yeah, you can
Yeah,
continue.
so it's not about saving time only actually, because like once you get more and more and more into the like research field, I'd say maybe more and more technical, there will be no videos explaining
Yeah,
stuff. There will be only text format. There will be only deep and complex, blog posts, maybe research papers out there. There will be no video
yeah.
explanation for that because the videos are out there only for surface level stuffs. So you need to get the habit of reading, Jaima.
I'm I'm getting there, mate. Come on, be patient. Have patience. I'm getting there.
All
I
right,
should
mate.
connect things from beginning to the like I'm
Yeah,
getting
sure.
from beginning level to intermediate to advanced level.
All right,
First of all,
mate.
let me finish. So, like
Yeah.
if you get habit and then like so just you can just get things out of text. That's really helpful. And then like it's not really helpful right now. So as we're young kids right now, so basically we're teen and starting 20s. So starting 20 and then mid 20. So but at least we're going to we're going to so like so as Anado is doing work right now, even though he's young, so he's getting used to these things. That's why he's sharing from the experiences. So what I mean was like if we get habit of reading blogs and text stuff, it will really help in future because we have to like engage in like some kind of work, research paper, everything. So Chris, you're doing research paper, I guess. So you should apparently change your style on the reading things. But like I
Yeah.
won't say like watching YouTube video is completely bad because like what I did in A levels was just going through the every single YouTube video and then like getting a doom knowledge out of it. So for a specific college or like marking or exam stuff, videos are great. So if I want a specific part so that I can pass exams, videos are cool because they will summarize the essential part. Like if I if I try to read physics and then I go through text, fuck off. I'll get lost. There is a lot of things in
Yeah.
physics. It's like if I get into it, like even a particle, I will get lost in particle for a day, and that will waste my time in terms of like exam scenario. So if I go through the YouTube and I'll just write and I'll just explain this like explain photons, and then like they will give the basic, simple, quick video of 5 to 10 minutes or max half an hour video, and they will make everything clear. So for these, as a college or uni student, that's fine. I'm not trying to say like you should completely avoid watching videos, but like if you're so for example, Chris, you and me are doing CCNA right now. So on my this screen, I'm still looking at the website where I can scroll. So like basically, I don't want some other person to explain theoretical things. So if I get trouble in like getting a practical overview from this stuff, I'll get to the YouTube and then like they will be like, yeah, this is switch, this is router, and this is a cross cable wire, and we're connecting like this, and then like they're transmitting data like this. If they explain like this, I'll get data from there. But like until or unless I'm like understanding this, I can get something out of it. But like I will use your approach too. That's why I got a new notebook for myself. It's like I can't completely go through everything and pass the exam. I have to put note something down. So it's like the
Yeah.
best approach for me, and then I think that will be the best for everyone. Is like basically if you get the habit of reading, that's completely that would be the best option ever. And then like if you're going for like some kind of exams and all like college uni and then some certification stuff, yeah, reading and writing, that's the best because it will be easy for a long run. Like if I read and write, like it will like the things will get into my brain, like even though I didn't have any idea about the stuff. Like uh, there's an example, I guess. I am a living example for this thing. Back in A levels, when I was giving a back paper for physics, I
Mhm.
was fucked up for the third time, and then I seriously started reading, and then like that's when like I found reading physics interesting. So like I can't forget a definition for my whole life, and that is photon. Photon is a part of electromagnetic radiation, which energy can be quantized. So this is the side effect of reading and writing, I guess. That's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
mean. Uh, so to this point, I will conclude my stuff so you guys can
Yeah,
continue.
so basically to summarize what Himal said, so here's the deal. If there is a specific pathway, if there are specific guidelines, so in exams in college there is always the certain things that you need to learn, right? Is everything is defined. You don't have to go out of your way to learn the extra thing. You don't have to go out of your way to do the extra mile, right? Because there's a syllabus. It asks you to learn this, and this. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So in that case, you can go for video as well because yeah, as Himal said, you cannot be binging through the text because you are not even sure like whether the thing is in syllabus or not. In such cases, yeah, definitely video is a way to go because yeah, it makes sense, right? Because the video creators will be keeping the syllabus in mind. They'll keep in mind what you need to know to pass the exam to get better marks in the exam, right? So in such cases, yeah, go for video rather than audio. Sorry, rather than text. But if you're on your own, if it's your own research, if you're not bounded by some sort of syllabus, right? There are like unlimited things that you can move forward to. If it's open-ended, basically, you need to go for text because in such cases you will not really find that much video because the more technical you get, the more in depth you go, there will be less and less resources and more onto your own research, right? So if you are really going for a really niche thing, there will be no resource because nobody has done that, right? So yeah, people have done
Yeah,
that, but like only a limited people have done that. So whatever you find YouTube videos on, like millions of people have done that. And if you're going
Yeah.
deep to the top 0.001% maybe, there will be less people doing that,
Hmm.
which means there will be less resources. And those technical experts will not be sitting around making YouTube videos, right? They'll publish their
because they have
work.
no
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, they'll publish their
Yeah,
work through blog. They'll publish their work through research papers and stuff like that. So, in such cases, in the
Mhm.
cases when things are more open-ended and not bound by syllabus or like college, uni, you should definitely go for the text format of reading. Yeah, Chris. So, what are your opinions on this
Yeah.
and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely liked how you like previously mentioned like suppose we're reading a story, right? And as you mentioned, like everyone has his or her own perspective about the thing that they're reading, right? There's not a specific object or thing that comes to mind. It can be different as per the person, right? But like similar to how Himal said too, like suppose you are learning about switches and routers, but like if you have never actually seen or visualized what a switch looks like, what a router looks like, so that in that case, like it's really tough to actually grasp the concept, right? So like whenever if the text says that oh there are four ports, there are this, but if you never actually see a visual representation of it, it's actually hard to grasp concepts, right? But yeah, since it's openly bounded, it's good to rely on visual, audio-visual sources or like references, right? But as you said, when it comes to niche, like when you go deep into it, deep into the rabbit hole, there are a lot few resources that we can audio-visual resources that we can actually find, right? But one thing that actually clicked right to me like was see every audio visual source like it's kind of like how they say every video is a text but every text is not a video kind of thing, right? You get it?
Yeah.
Oh wait,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So like you could the same text that even niche people, right, you can present it in an audio visual format too, right? So basically like in that sense videos are superior, but when it comes to deep research things where people do not actually have the time to invest in making videos, say like expert researchers who have written their research, right? Like not all experts go out making YouTube videos for them. So in that case, when you have to dive into the niche thing, then in like to grasp the knowledge there, it's better to refer to the text content, right? But yeah, that actually makes sense. But the main reason for me to rely on audiovisual sources of information is because I really have a hard time staying focused on a single text, right? So
It says thought.
it even happen. Let's see, it even happens when I'm reading manga. So is there ever a time when you are reading, you complete a page, you complete two pages, and then you
But
are like,
you don't
oh,
know the content.
what did I just read? You're like, oh shit, what did I read? Just read, and you have to
Yeah.
go back, and you
And read it
actually have
again.
to be there. You have to be present. You have to focus, and you really have to dive into it to actually understand the context, right? And for me, that is one of the biggest problems for me, even while reading entertaining sources of mangas, right? Like leave all the information, educational videos, even while reading mangas. I cannot seem to actually focus on a single text, like you get it. But uh, on its counterpart, whenever I look at visual representations, I am always focused. I'm always present in it. And for me, I can actually like binge like 5, 6 hours in a single sitting while watching a audiovisual representation. But whereas for reading, I can hardly focus for like 20 minutes at most. Then I really need a break after that. And I have to take a 10 minutes break and I have to again come back to it, right? So that I think a lot of people these days, a lot of youths do struggle with this because of the low attention span that they have, right? And like we could connect it with our previous video when we are talking about TikTok and doom scrolling too, because that has a big effect on people actually being able to focus on, especially like text content, right? But I feel like it's actually an intelligent way to actually grasp knowledge. And as you guys said, like it really saves time when you can actually skim through the text. But the main problem there is you actually have to be there, be present there. You actually have to focus what you're reading, right? Else nothing gets in. And there are some moments, there are some time when I'm just reading, 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 and then I actually don't get anything out of it. So that is the main problem, and that is the main reason I actually rely on audiovisual source of information. Yes, Simal, you have been raising your hand for a
Oh,
long time, but sorry, like I
yeah,
had to
because
wrap it up. Yeah.
I have a lot of things to interrupt. Because like, yeah, it's like this one is like some controversial things, you know. It's like you can't completely say this perspective is best and like this approach is best compared to this and this. It's like it's depend on people, but like what we can say in general is like. For if you're just starting out, you're a newbie, you should get a YouTube video first of all, so that you can get some knowledge, some like visual representation. But like you can
Hmm.
always continue on YouTube videos. That's what I mean. So it's like, for example, so for routers and switch example, if you just go through a quick video of like summarizing everything, let's assume like there is a video of 10 minutes summarizing everything. Like you can see the IT room where like lots of switch, lots of hubs are like I don't know what Tom actually they represent that room, but like so if you get the visualization of that from the YouTube, then and then you get to the text like and then text will say yeah and router there are lots of hubs and this hub is meant for this purpose and then you don't have to go through the every single YouTube video like hey guys what's up everybody this is my video teaching you CCNA part 69. So it's not like that. You can always go on your own and then like it will be more easy, more time saving, and then like I think that will be the uh, like worthy habit too, because worthy habit. And then like if you're like getting trouble about getting lost in between, what I would suggest you is to don't get a lot of stops and multiple screen. You just like for example, Ananda and me are using double screen. If you want you to focus on some specific text, just turn off the monitor and get to your laptop screen, and then like hide all the other tabs, and then get into the one tab. It's like yeah, you can continue.
If you're reading book, just turn everything off and just read a book. But if you're reading something that like for CCNA router and switch, you cannot get a physical book, right? Yeah, definitely. That's a nice way to put it up, Himal. Yeah, you can continue.
So I was like, so if you just Chris try for a while, so you can get. It's like it's a hard thing, like we talked in the previous videos, or like doing hard things, like folk, like asking our brain to do crazy stuff for us rather than like scrolling. because schooling is fun and reading CCN is switch and hop stuff is really hard for a random 18, 19, and 20 years boy. And then like so you s- we never like we always read for a purpose. You read for a grades. Nobody, I think, back home in Nepal, nobody is actually reading and getting knowledge till our age. I guess they are
Yep.
just like they're just
Reading.
in a race. Even though they do A levels, I have never seen people that kusal like shows like kusal. I don't know how to say like kusal like how kusal brainstorm us like brainwash us about the A levels. That was totally different thing. I never find a people uh, who were like in Kusal's story in our college too. So that I think we were the one, even though I failed like so basically like if you're just reading for the sake of reading, that's totally bullshit and that's totally hard thing. The thing like the thing like I'm good right now here is like I'm just not reading for the sake of reading. Like I don't give a fuck about even though I was late on my exam, guys. Even though I was late on my exam, I did a good thing. I summarized everything on my way to Uber. I just turn on my laptop and then get through every text, and then I was and then like yeah, I got everything, and then it was some recap, and then like in exam I was like not completely fucked up, and then like it was so it's not our habit. Like from the birth till age of 20, for you, let's compare, because you're really old. So you were taught to be like this. So like you're basically taught to be like this, right? And then like it will totally affect your uh, all the activities around you. And yeah, continue. Come on, fuck off, guys.
Yeah. So,
You're like
so like
if
yeah.
I spoke for 1 minute and everyone is
No,
what the fuck?
so this is my first time raising a hand, right? I actually had no need to raise my hand right now. I could do it later, but just because I wanted to be more active or something. Since we
Yeah.
were talking, like it could be controversial, right? It could be really controversial when we say like this learning style is better than this because I mean human brains are different. They comprehend things in different scales, different levels, right? But I think I got it mixed up when I stated this previously, but what I actually wanted to state was, see, every text can be represented in a video, but every video cannot be represented in a text because a video has the visual and audio. I mean, the audio visual aspect, right? So I just wanted to, since we were being controversial about it, and for some reason I feel like I'm on the audio visual side, and you guys are in the reading writing part of things, right?
So
So
That's a
just
yeah,
healthy
wanted to add a
debate.
point that
Yeah.
yeah, just want to. Oh, there's a timer for 1 hour, but let's continue. But just wanted to put it out there that like every text can be visualized and can be auditory too, right? But not all text can contain the visual aspect, and that is the main reason that I actually prefer visual things. But since there's a thing about saving time and efficiency too, so in that sense, like yes, right, yeah, you could continue,
so
Iman.
I will make you clear. Like there is a gap in this, like text and visual audio things. So like
Mm-hmm.
whenever you go through the visual stuffs, like there is a one random guy, one random Indian guy that explaining some stuffs in YouTube. So like
Yeah.
it's like so you found it easy and like easy and like understandable because someone is explaining you on their perspective using the some specific knowledge from the text. So it's like
Mhm.
even we three got the same resources, we will have the different like knowledge, different scenario in our mind. That's what I mean. And then like
Yeah.
if we three get the same resource paper and then we have to explain about this thing in front of other people, Ananda will use some different scenes and I will use some different examples and it will go same for you. We won't be ending up like, yeah, back home, we went to the Rara. We won't mention the Rara. We all three won't mention Rara while explaining some scenario. You know what I mean? Even though Rara was
Yeah,
out of
I get
nowhere.
it.
So,
Yeah, I get it.
so basically, if you're using visual representation, you're always depending on like two-way handshake. Like it's like you on like the, someone is using. It's like why don't you use the like official resource when there is one available? Like it's like someone is using official resource and then like mixing it with his or her thoughts and like his
Mm.
like cases and then explaining it on YouTube. So it's
Yeah,
perfectly like I will
yeah,
you will get the limited things out of it, I guess. Like
yeah. I
you will
think,
get just basic stuff.
yeah,
And then like life is not
mhm.
about the racing and then like doing something for the sake of doing something. It's like knowledge is so much valuable. Like I know two plus two, nobody can steal two plus two equals to four from me. That's what I mean. You know?
Yeah.
So
Uh, uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, Chris, you can continue.
Yeah. So, yeah, I actually think that it really depends on the thing that you're studying or like the reading material too, right? Because in some cases, there are instances where two visualizations or two opinions don't really matter. Like there's a single fact and there's a single way to represent it, and that is shown through videos, right? Like a lot of technical videos, like you have to comprehend it in a single way, and that is how a lot of people dive into it, and that is the best way to learn it because there's only a single representation. But in a vague reading material where different people can have their own opinions about it, like how we mentioned about a story about a person, right? Like everyone can have their own image of the person, and everyone can come up with their own opinion, and that is where we can listen and we can stay anti-dogmatic, and we can take into everyone's perspectives into account, right? But in some cases there actually can not be different visual representations that you actually have to take into account. There could be a single thing that you have to stick into, and that is the main reading material itself. So basically most of the technical things I actually think that you have to stick to, like you cannot basically change whenever you say a sky is blue, when the sky is blue, right? You can't just be like your visualization of blue can be different than my visualization of blue, right? Because blue is a single color, so there cannot be distinct ways to classify what blue actually looks like, right? So there can be circumstances where you have to have a single perspective, single visualization about a thing, but there can be other reading materials where we have to take in different opinions about things too. So yeah, I actually think that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
man.
I definitely agree with you, Chris, because like with regards to technical thing, like there is only one thing and there is only one way you can learn it. Basically, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I definitely agree because like if you like whether you read or like visualize the earth revolving around the sun, it's the same thing, right? Because it's not going to change. Yeah. I definitely agree on that, but there is a catch. And the catch is that see, at the point that I'm right now, there are no videos that explain what I do. And it's not even that much technical. Like I there were video resources, yeah, there were video resources out there that explain even niche topics, even in-depth topics. But like once you even get into like the intermediate level of technical stuff, you won't be finding any videos. And that's like from my experience, man. Like about the thing that I'm doing right now is basically no, a big no. There is nothing. Like whether you go and attend like a $5,000 training by some really expert individual, right? Whether you
what
do
the
that,
fuck? I don't want me to go and watch sport for this stuff. Stop this crazy guy.
No, no, no.
I have
He's the one recording, so I think it's fine on his side.
yeah, it's good, man. It's
but
good on my side.
we have to go through podcast so that we can understand
Uh,
him. That's the problem. I don't want to go to podcast.
Oh,
whatever, like what I was
in
saying was
that
that
sense.
if you get technically competent, if you get to a certain level of technical expertise, you will not be able to find any video resources. All right,
Let me just
and
click a video.
wait, am I not audible or is it getting stuck again? Hello, hello. Let me show you guys a dance.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a bit laggy. I don't know why it's so laggy, but I think I'll need to start high power mode from the next part, I guess, because things are getting laggy. Now Chris is stuck and Himal is yapping with his friend or something on call, I guess. This is problematic, man. Himal, can you hear me? Oh my goodness. I think I need to get Chris just sent me a video. Chris is out of the call. And look at, wait, even I'm out of the call, it seems.
Yeah, I think it's good
Hello.
now.
It's good. Your video is off, man.
No problem.
Yeah, so let me
Yeah, so
repeat it.
actually, we're on the 1 hour 15 minutes
All right,
mark,
so
but yeah,
let
we
me
could
re
go on some.
yeah,
Yeah,
let me repeat it for the last time and then we can wrap it up. So what I was saying was that yeah, video and
yeah,
audio representation are good, but like even if you get one step deeper into technical stuffs, you will not be able to find anything, and the reading is the only thing that you can do because even the most technical people will write it down, but there will be no video for sure because the things that I'm doing right now,
yeah,
you will never find a video for that. And yeah, you might find it maybe 10 years down the line, but no, there is not enough resource for you to comprehend through audio and visual, representation.
yeah,
So yeah, I guess it's definitely an easier way to learn, but I guess you should try to, as Himal said, do hard things, get yourself out of your comfort zone, and try to read, try to be present. Yeah, as you said, like you get lost, right? You read for the sake of reading, and then you get lost. I've also experienced that a lot of times when I'm like basically reading through 2 pages, but then I don't understand. I don't remember a thing that I read, and that's a problem, but you need to set yourself a habit. You need to maybe take a break if that's you're facing something like that. Because I remember there was a point when I used to scroll reels so much that I was not able to even concentrate on one single blog post, let alone book, man. I could not go through like two scroll worthy of, text. I could not grasp anything. But then I started reading books. I started reading Don Quixote. And then I got the habit of reading back. And then I was able to go through lots of big blog posts, really technically in-depth blog posts. I was actually able to get myself focused on that and grab the, knowledge from it because the direct reason for me not being able to focus on those blog posts was doom scrolling, and I set my habit by reading funny books, that is Don Quixote, the fiction. So that was also one of the reasons I chose fiction because I would be bored if I read like self-improvement books. And if I read fiction, if I laughed a little bit, I would set myself a habit of reading books and I would be able to focus on text and which I can use on the blog posts and or other different books that I need to go through, right? So yeah, that's it from my side, I guess. So what do you guys say? Let's
So,
wrap this up quick.
yeah. Actually, like
so
one main the reason why I think people, the rich, successful people actually, want others to read books and, they actually read books on a daily basis is not because they agree with what the author says, but rather they they come up with their own opinions and they like find a way to compare what the author thinks and what they think and what the general public thinks, right? So I think that's a great way to actually know what others are thinking about a specific topic and come up with your own interpretation about it and being able to compare, taking in others' opinions that is there, right? So yeah, I do think that books actually allow you to perceive things with a different mindset, with your own visualization, which is not actually feasible with audiovisual things where you have to be focused on a single way of learning, and everyone have their single one interpretation about a thing, whereas in books that is not the case. And yeah, that is actually one good thing that I got out of this video, and now I actually feel like reading all these books and coming up with my own opinions about it, and actually going on Reddit because that is the best place where people actually like summarize what their opinions are, in a
Yeah,
formal, concise way. I really
yeah,
love reading what Redditors actually post,
yeah.
right? Because they are very true to themselves and they are really good writers too. Like they summarize things in a really good way, and it's really fun to actually have your opinions clashing with their opinions, right? So it's a really great way to learn things.
Yep, agree. Himal.
So for me, like what I was trying to say to the viewers and you guys is like, life is not a race. One point, and like there is nothing for you to compete with others. Like there is nothing like grace and stops in life. Like the only
Yeah.
thing from life that you can take is lot of knowledge that is sticks to you and the memory that is sticks to you. So basically, what I was trying to say is like, if I'm sitting for an exam, I'm reading for exam, I can be lazy and then like I can be doing stuff for some other stuff. But like, this is for your own purpose, guys. Like, if you really want to grow, if you really want to do something great, just just ask yourself, what are you doing? Like, and then like you will get serious. Like, I will like recommend this to the Chris so that Chris will be like sharing some stuff on the next and coming podcast. So this
Yeah.
video was like really good discussion, guys. Like
Yeah,
it's been a while. Like we're getting a
it's,
really good discussion even with
yeah.
ourselves. Like
This is the first
the
time, man. Like
yeah.
we only
So
stick to one topic for the first time for 1 hour straight. Man, this is a great
Yeah.
feat.
yeah.
And the best part is that since all of us have their own opinions about it, right? So like we could learn about so suppose if I was not in the podcast, I would still be thinking that audiovisual is the best way to get things. But now listening to your opinions, where we get into deeper research topics, or get into niche topics, that is where videos there are not always a lot of videos to refer to, and that is where reading text is the best efficient way, and it also saves time, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, and that was great to learn about it. Yeah.
So, like, if you guys have like noticed or not, but like, I was doing some kind of like experiment within myself. Like, I was really quiet throughout the podcast, right? I was just waiting for my turn. I was not being like Ananda, like interrupting other people. Oh well, let me speak. So, like, like do something out of your thing. Like, this is
Comfort
not
zone.
my piece of cake.
Out of your
This
comfort
is
zone.
not my piece of cake.
Yeah.
This is not my piece of cake. Like arguments while someone is speaking, but like I was just truthfully, hopefully, like waiting for my turn. Chris, this guy is
Yeah.
like this guy's
Yeah.
internet is fucking crazy, but still,
Yeah.
like I was just waiting for my turn, and then like I was implementing this for the first time, and then like I think I did a good thing.
Yeah.
Like I
Kudos.
find myself at the good place when I'm not talking too much. So
Yeah.
it was like you can do the same. Like this was for me and this could be the different for you. Like for you, talking could be the one thing that you can do, getting out of your comfort zone.
Yep, exactly,
Mhm.
Just
man.
give it a try because
Nice point.
Yeah.
you should always do
It's
crazy stuff, guys. Life is so short. Like that's what I
yeah.
would say. Like if you just feel like doing anything, just never attempt a crime criminal activities things. Other than that, just do everything crazy stuff that you like,
Yeah.
that you want to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. I really like how
And
this
the at
podcast
the
is
at the
helping us. Yeah. Getting
yeah,
off
at
our
the same time,
comfort
yeah, at
zones.
the same time, like don't forget, like what I would suggest you and viewers is like get your mindset clear. That's the only thing. You should not get lost on your journey. Other than that, like you can be late or like you can have a more little fun in between.
Hmm.
That's totally up
Yeah.
to you. But you should know what you're doing. That's what I mean. It should be
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Definitely.
the the
Yeah.
the end destination should be something really nice that you're always looking up to. So like it's like you should always know that yeah, I'm going to this place. It's not like a complete like pathway like track down. Yeah, on a first day we'll go to this resort and we'll sit down there, and next day we will. It's not like it's not like that with life, but
Hmm.
at least definitions will be fixed. Destinations will be
Yeah.
fixed. And then I think that's what we discussed with Ananda's father before the podcast. And then like, yeah, I think we should even invite Tulva in podcast too, because he's really a
It, it,
great
it'll
asset.
Yeah.
it will
Great
be a
asset.
Nepali part, man.
We can do
Yeah.
Nepali too, because some specific. We can even write title in Nepali. यस्तो भन्नुहुन्छ आनन्दको बुवाले. And then it goes like this. ASL
We're
podcast
setting this up, man. We're
407.
setting this up. Yeah, we're
Yeah,
getting off
yeah. I think
time.
we should conclude this, right? Yeah. Anything
Yeah.
you want to
Yeah.
add, Ananda?
Not really. I'm really glad we had such a productive discussion in just a single topic, and actually sharing our insights instead of just yapping, and actually sharing our opinions, our views and stuffs. And yeah, this was the best podcast ever we recorded, I'd say, because I really love this. I was like, even in between the discussion, I was like, oh my goodness, we're in the single topic, and there is so much I need to talk, and we're sharing such valuable insights. That was really great. This was the best podcast, I would
Hmm.
say. And yeah, more to come, man. Cheers. And
Yeah,
that's it.
man.
You can wrap it up as a host, Chris.
Yeah, sure. Since like me being the audio visual learner, right? So I think it's good better for me to wrap this up, like expressing what I learned, right? Like since I started with how rich and successful people actually are always recommending people to read books on a daily basis, but I never actually got the gist of it or the hang of it, right? But now I actually feel like I get it. And then we came across how audiovisual method of learning can be different from what a person or in a text context, right? But since both of them have their own good and ups and downs, I feel like it's still a controversial topic till now. Like, I do not completely agree that the text format is the best way, but I did learn things that I would not have learned if I had not discussed with you guys, right? So that was one key aspect. And yes, I'll definitely try to focus on the reading and writing part, especially for the VART method too. And I think you guys should also check it out. It's a famous testing system to determine what kind of learning style you actually want. And looking and like reflecting on this podcast, I definitely think that you guys would really be on the reading and writing part of things. But yeah, to wrap it up, hope you guys actually got something out of this video, right? Even me, especially like getting these books this past week, I will be really engaged in it now that I have actually discussed it with you guys, even though like these are not study materials, but this will definitely help me and my attention span, right? I
Yep.
think I could seem to focus more on a single topic when I start reading these books, even though it might not be educational, right? But I could
Hmm.
still get something out of it.